Great headline, JK Rowling and the Gob Full of Ire. You can see how that could become a movie, couldn't you? And apparently Emma Watson said this, first of all, on JK Rowling on Jay Shetty's podcast.
There's just no world in which I could ever cancel her out or cancel that out for anything. It has to remain true. It is true. And this is where this like holding of these, I just don't know what else to do other than hold these two seemingly incompatible things together at the same time and just hope maybe they will one day resolve or co-join themselves, and maybe accept that they never will, but that they can both still be true. And I can love her. I can know she loved me. I can be grateful to her. I can know the things that she said are true. And there can be this whole other thing. And my job feels like to just hold all of it. But the bigger thing is just what she's done will never be taken away from me.
Harry. Oh, no, it's the wrong one, isn't it? Sounds a bit like Meghan, that. What the hell is she talking about? Her job is what? She doesn't have a job. She was made very famous and very wealthy by JK Rowling because she appeared in the Harry Potter series. And, you know, who knows where she would have been if that hadn't happened. But now she's saying, oh, well, you know, I still love her, even though I've been slagging her off. I mean, JK Rowling says in The Sun today that she's been pouring petrol on the flames at the peak of death threats against her, and that basically she's trashed women's rights. Mayor Forstater's here. Mayor, very good morning to you.
Morning.
I guess it had to come to a head at some point, didn't it? But, you know, you can't help but think, as JK Rowling says, it's hard to imagine that these people who have had such a privileged life can actually see anything that's real in the world.
Exactly. I think they've just been trying to cover their own back and say what won't get them cancelled, but they've been throwing women under the bus, and she's betrayed JK Rowling and expects her still to be her friend and still to love her.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
No, it's a very entitled view of the world, isn't it? That, you know, oh yeah, we've had this really terrible row. I've actually caused people or helped people to make death threats against you, but I'm sure you'll forgive me because, you know, maybe one day soon we might be able to work together again.
Yes, and also as J.K. Rowling said, it's entitled in that Emma Watson, you know, is never going to be in a women's prison. She's never going to be in a women's refuge. She probably doesn't use public toilets or, you know, anywhere that's not behind the velvet rope. And yet she was willing to give away women's rights and not to stand up for J.K. Rowling when she stood up for something which, you know, every sane person knows that a man isn't a woman. And the only reason to say that they are is because you're afraid of what will happen to you if you speak the truth.
Yes. And she's interesting. I mean, it's a 600-word statement that J.K. Rowling's put out, and she says that the change of tack from Emma Watson, she suspects has been adopted because she's noticed that full-throated condemnation of me is no longer quite as fashionable as it used to be.
Yes, I think that's right. I think you could hear some kind of regret, I think, in Emma Watson's voice.
Yeah.
But she's given away too much.
Yeah. I mean, it's extraordinary that this feud has gone on so long, really, as well. And not only Emma Watson, because her other co-stars in Harry Potter, you know, Daniel Radcliffe and the other bloke that nobody can ever remember, Rupert Grint, I think his name is, you know, they've all gone along with it, haven't they?
Yeah, I think they thought they saw which side their bread was buttered on. They wanted to make it in Hollywood, and the best way to do that was to betray J.K. Rowling. Some of the other stars didn't and stood by her, like Robbie Coltrane, for example. You know, you find out who your friends are when you're in trouble.
Absolutely right. And is there a sense that it's not as fashionable anymore? Is that true, or is it still? I mean, I get the sense that it's still very difficult for an awful lot of women who have been very strong on this particular subject.
I think it is still very difficult to say, and you know, lots of people at work and in school and at university and who have jobs in Hollywood and places like that do find it hard to just say the truth because they will get cancelled, they will get pressure on them. But more and more people are speaking up, and we won in the Supreme Court. You know, the highest court in the land in the UK said that women are female, so it's got to be easier to say it.
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, the movement, the trans movement, particularly the very, very kind of threatening and kind of, I mean, I'm going to call it violent because it has been violent as a movement. Is that still very much a thing, or is that kind of going away a little bit?
No, I think it's very much still a thing. Both threats of violence and also reporting women to the police for misgendering and somehow being able to snap their fingers and the police come running and investigate women for calling a man but don't investigate threats of violence against women.
Yeah. And that is really the problem. And there's still a lot of places dragging their heels on the new rules around women's private spaces, like hospitals, which still seem to be, not quite complying with the new law. Places up in Scotland in particular as well.
Yes, I mean, it's not the new law. It's the law as it always has been, but it's been misunderstood and missold by Stonewall and others. And as you say, authorities, schools, hospitals, the City of London over the Hampstead ponds, for example, they've got 3 ponds, a women's pond, a man's pond and a mixed pond. So there's somewhere for everybody to swim, but we're having to sue them so that they will stop allowing men into the women's changing room, women's showers where women are undressed.
It is extraordinary, isn't it? Well, I mean, good on JK Rowling for putting it out there, and a great headline, as they say, on the front page of The Sun. Maya Forstater, thank you very much indeed, reporting into us there from Liverpool on the Labour conference going on. JK Rowling and the Gobful of Hire.